So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So this is going to be my showcase of the teams I've been using for the 3-star Kizuna once you've hit the cap of 999 billion. And yeah, it's not going to be rocket science, it's the teams I've talked about, it's the team that Stump popularized, that I linked to in my latest video. I just did my own take on it. I want to start the video with a big caveat, which is that if you think something weird is happening, like that's not optimal in some way, basically the way this 3-star works is that strength and dex are free, like no issues at all. The only issue is int, because int has a 20% revive, and it's just not possible for almost every player to kill that by themselves. We think there might be a handful who is able to, due to some very specific unit that needs rainbow or very high stats, something like that. I don't know the team though, but we think a few have that. Nobody in my alliance though, so we found other strats to make it as fast as possible. And those strats are basically the reason why you see some weirdness in some cases. But it's basically all down to me wanting the muscle memory between the fights to be as similar as possible. I only made a handful of differences. For example, for Dex, I've had a few instances where I did a bit too little damage. So for Dex, I changed the tap order a bit. I should have done it from the beginning, to be honest, but I actually forgot that obviously with Sorosanji special, Kaido becomes a free spirit slasher, so they do a lot of damage here. So for a long time I just hit with Kaido first without thinking about it. I do that for all other variants though, so it's been like my muscle memory. But yeah, I've had a few unfortunate incidents against the Dex boss, so now I made a special tap order for it. So yeah, need to make sure to proc the super tandem before Luffy, so need to make sure that Sorosanji and Yamato hit close together, since you do need a Yamato or a Luffy for Sorosanji super tandem to proc. So as you see, I hit Kaido late there, does a lot of damage, so even if some mishap happens, I should be good. And as for mishap, there's a few things that can happen. The most usual one for me is messing up the rush. I'm pretty consistent with rush, but when you play it a lot and feel tired, it's a lot easier to make mistakes. Another thing to consider for me is the friend boost. I have one friend who is 1.2 times, so that lowers damage a bit. But there's also the friend boost bug, which I talked about last time I went hard in Kizuna. So basically there's a chance that you don't get any friend boost at all, and that means you do 1.3 times less damage, and if you get that, you need to basically do everything you can to increase your damage output. So yeah, going into strength, this is basically the standard in terms of muscle memory. In the beginning I did like this for every variant, basically. Stage 1 is a bit slow, not sure if I could have made it better. Like, it would probably be easier to kill with another ship, since Germa ship doesn't work well until you got all colors. You need to super swap here to get that. You might wonder why I super swap turn 2. And well, that's also just I like to do wider work if possible, so if you do everything final stage, that gets super boring. I already think final stage is super boring as is. But now you do quite a bit on stage 2 as well, so it makes it less of a chore. Another added bonus is the fact that Sorosanji will block the Luffy 3.5 times attack boost you can get sometimes, which might sound weird, like that's a good attack boost, why block it? But yeah, you'll understand more once we get into the int variant. But yeah, I like to not think too much when I play stuff like this. This is just brainless farm. So yeah, it doesn't get super optimal unless you think you just try and find a pretty good baseline in terms of damage output. And the another annoying thing for me personally, because my idea going in was that I presume this will be like the last 3-star I did 2 months ago in Super Boss, where I did over 900 levels, and you could just play by yourself. So my idea was to basically just do it solo, not do many assists at all. Maybe be nice sometimes, but yeah, due to INT with the revive, that basically changed everything, and it became a lot of a quid pro quo. You help me, I help you. That's already pretty standard in a lot of alliances anyway. So I did help out a lot, and others helped me out a lot. But yeah, let's jump into the INT. And yeah, the way INT works is, like you see, we have the cap here, 999 billion. And basically, if you kill the enemy, they will revive with 20% of the starting HP. So now at the cap, it starts with 999 billion. You kill it, it goes down to 200 billion. Still super slow to do assist for that. But what we figured out, mainly thanks to Two Shanks, the GOAT basically, what he figured out is of course that not only does the enemy's HP go up with nav levels and hit a cap, they also keep going up in attack, and the attack keeps going up after you hit 999 billion. So we were thinking that maybe eventually we can abuse burn and maybe even one-hit KO 999 billion with burn if it just keeps going up. Sadly, it stopped going up eventually after like 550 levels, I'm not sure. But yeah, basically we figured out that you can abuse burn still, and you'll be able to do an easy 6 to 12 billion damage with burn and also insta-kill the revive. So basically the new plan was try and set up consistent ways to do as much damage as possible to INT, but not kill it. So this was a lot of tinkering, and yeah, I'm sure some will see what I do here and think, Galaxy Brain, how can you figure that out? But honestly, it's about trial and error and luck. Like you try something, see the result, you make a small tweak, see what happens, and you keep trying. And honestly, I got pretty lucky with finding this. This is a consistent setup for me. Like there's so many variables, so basically nobody can copy this. But for me, this was a consistent 990 to 995 billion damage as long as I don't mess up. So that means that you can easily kill with an assist, and I'll show the assist team right after this. See, this is why you've seen some maybe weird stuff in other bosses. It's just because I built around this boss to barely not kill. Here is survive with 10 billion. And then I want to keep that muscle memory so I don't have to think so much for the others. And since I still kill pretty easily, as long as I just hit the rush, I kept some of the non-optimal stuff for the others just to translate the muscle memory. Kind of things you can do when you have as much investment as me. But yeah, this is the assist team. There are some variants. I've been using this myself. This one can do up to like 12.75 billion damage maximum. And since the enemy now has 10 billion HP left, we can use the secondary strats. So basically you see that we have Moria and Jack. So what Moria does is it has a great threshold, and threshold is optimal here because we want to take damage to proc Kaido's end of turn damage, but we don't want to take too much damage, and Moria just means you take 2k damage, nothing else. And then it's just for one turn though, so here I will need burn for 2 turns to kill, since Burn will do 6 billion per turn with Kaido as captain. But with Yak, I can extend Moria's damage threshold. First time that ability of Yak is ever used, by the way. Shoutouts to that. So we're able to keep the great damage threshold for 2 turns. And then I just tap with Kaido, apply the burn. I take damage, apply the increased damage taken. Insta 6 billion damage. And yeah. Then I just tap one more time, 6 billion more damage. They die. And when they revive, burn is applied again. And they die before they can do anything. So as you can see, this gave us a pretty good advantage in terms of speed. So we could really farm faster than many others could with this strat. So that benefited me being able to probably finish top 3 on the global server. But yeah, I'll talk more about that in a video later today, how World Cruise went for the Kizuna part. But yeah, that's my teams. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.